Hi, it's Jan Howell. Welcome back to my channel. In today's sewing tip tutorial, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can make your own cone thread holder. Now, if you're not familiar with cone thread, it is a big spool of thread commonly used on serger sewing machines. It holds a lot of thread, and if you use a lot of the same color of thread on sewing projects on your regular sewing machine, it'll pay to get a few spools of cone thread or serger thread for your machine. Where do you put the spool of cone thread to thread through your machine so it holds in place and it doesn't drag along your machine? These 3 easy tips that I'm going to show you. You don't need any special gadgets, just common items around the house. They're quick to set up and they work really well. So let me show you what they are. For all of the tips that I'm going to show you, you'll need a coffee mug, a bowl, or something to hold the spool of thread in. The first method I'm going to show you, you'll be using just a simple big safety pin. The next method is a big paper clip and a file clip and some masking tape. Now you can use one of these gadgets. I'll put a link in the description below, but I'm not a huge fan of it. It's bulky, it's not, I feel like it tips over a little bit more than I want it to, and I'm all about using what you have. These other gadgets that I show you they don't cost any money and they work just as well, I think. On your sewing machine, it will have a place for your spool of thread, and on this particular machine, this Verb Baby Lock, the spool of thread can go here, or you can put this attachment for it to go here. But that is not going, either of these are going to hold a spool of cone thread. The first thing that you'll need to use for all of these methods is something to hold the cone thread in. You can use a simple coffee mug or a bowl to put your thread in. Now the idea is to allow the thread to come up straight from the spool and then over to where you're going to continue to thread your machine. If I were to just pull that over, it would drag and get caught on this, and it's going to affect your sewing stitch. So there's a few things that you can do. The first way is to just take a simple safety pin, a big safety pin, and a piece of tape so that long end is sticking out quite a ways from the machine. Take the end of your thread and thread it through that little hole in the safety pin. That will free it up from any of this stuff and allow you to continue to thread your machine. See how nicely that pulls through. The next method is to take paper clip, a big paper clip, take the small bend and pull it away. And we want that to be flat on the machine. So we're going to pull this larger loop up and we're going to make a little circle there and then just pull it down so there's a little hole that we can thread. So there's a little hole that we can thread the thread through. So this flat part, pull it up a little higher and you can kind of tweak it. I'm going to flip that to the side so it wire doesn't get in the way. Thread the thread through the little hole. Now I'm going to show you on this machine. Take one of these file clips. And if you have one of these that fit on the back, this obviously wouldn't work because it's going to have to thread over here. You could put it there and have it thread through the front, but that's kind of in the way. But if you have a machine some have machines that are flat on the top and you could put that on there, you could clamp this onto it. But I'm just going to clamp that onto the back, would pull the thread up through this hole and over to where you continue to thread your machine. So these clips are handy and all machines are different. Just remember, try to get the thread away from any obstacles that's going to catch the thread or drag the thread. I hope you found these tips helpful. If you have cone thread kicking around or that you use them for your serger, you can now also use them on your sewing machine. It'll save you a little money and you won't run out of thread as often. If you have any questions, be sure to check out the description below. I have in there some tips, links to other blog posts that you might find interesting, and I have links to my favorite tools and sewing supplies. You can find out more details about these serger tips on my website, youmakeitsimple.com. Make sure you check those out. And of course, always, if you have questions, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to be reminded when I put new things up, you just go into your notifications, click on that bell, and you're set to go. Have a wonderful day, have fun sewing, and we'll see you in the next video.